Episode 3. He belongs to Clan Honda. It is 1560 AD in feudal Japan. A man is running as fast as he can. His breath is labored and he is terrified, both scared of what he's done and why he did it. His name is Kenji Nakamura. He is the illegitimate son of Honda Masanobu, a very important member of the Clan Honda. Powerful and important people in Japan. He was conceived during Masanobu's travels. The mother did not survive the birth, so Masanobu claimed the child. But since Kenji was not a pure Honda clan member, he was accepted, but not fully. At a very young age was trained to be a samurai. He is trained for this position since he was 5 years old. He was given his first assignment at the age of 17. He was always reminded that he was not truly Clan Honda because he was never given the family name. His mother's family name was Nakamura. He carried that name. His family and friends often simply called him Goru, or fifth child. Masanobu only had 3 children other than him. The name was to show separation between the children. An insult and a reminder that even though he was part of a ruling class, he was not one of them. So when he was given a mission to protect the shogun, and the shogun was attacked by an overwhelming force, he ran, panting and thinking to himself,
"The shogun is dead. He has to be. No one could survive that attack, and no one will know that I ran. Everyone has to be dead. There were only 5 of us, and I counted 15 of them before I started to run. And then I could hear more coming. They never cared about me. No one did. Not even my father. It doesn't make sense for me to throw my life away for them."
And so he ran, afraid of throwing his life away for people he is certain would not care about him either way. But what Kenji did not know was Japan's god of war, Hachiman, was watching, and he had plans for this shogun and for Kenji himself. Hachiman is not just the god of war, but more to the point, the god of warriors. He knew of Kenji's past and how hard he had fought to get to the position of samurai. He had plans to make legends of Kenji and the other warriors. They would fight off 24 well-trained assassins and gain the praise of the daimyo, the lord of the clan, who had assigned this mission to them. They would have gained the respect of the shogun and would then be honored by the emperor himself. But Kenji ran, and fate was changed. The other samurai were killed. The shogun was injured and eventually died. Many people in Clan Honda were punished. This tipped the scales of war for far longer than Hachiman wanted. In his anger, he pulled the 4 souls of the samurai that died from the Yomi, Japan's underworld, and returned them as brown bears. He tells them they died because of Kenji and that he was hiding in a cave in Hokkaido, the second largest island of Japan, and a place Kenji thought he could hide because of the dense population. The 4 bears find him and attack him. They catch him in the cave asleep, but he wakes as they attack. He dies, but he was able to kill 2 of the bears. Hachiman is amazed at Kenji's skill, but also angered because this skill was needed for his plans to keep the shogun alive. He takes the soul of Kenji to the Yomi. He tells him that because of his lack of courage he would be punished in the Yomi. But since he impressed Hachiman, he would be judged in 500 years. If Hachiman's anger had lessened, then he would resurrect Kenji to live out his life. But if Hachiman remained angered at Kenji, then he would cast him into the true hell of Japan, Jigoku, where souls are punished and tormented for all of eternity. Now, this brings us to today. Kenji has found a path to escape the Yomi before his time had been served. He doesn't have a body. He must possess someone in order to have a body and to exist in this world. A soul with no body will not survive long. He attempts to enter several bodies but cannot. Then after multiple tries he finds a body he can possess. A man named Andrew. He has a body now. It has been a long time since he was able to touch anything, since he had felt the sun on his face, since he felt water. His hands are wet. He feels warm liquid on his hands. He looks down at his hands and realizes that the liquid isn't water, it's blood. Then he hears a voice. It's Andrew.
"Well, What have we got here? I can almost always hear the voices in my head, but this one here sounds different. Just hear new voice sounds foreign. Where you from, old son? Is that a Mexican voice I hear now? Maybe Chinese. I guess it really don't matter much. You're in for a ride, old son. I found the last one that those other voices told me to find, and I did what I always do. I tore it to pieces. But those boys in blue done found me too, I guess. They put these holes in my chest. Got all my goodness pouring all over this brand new shirt. Hell, I just bought this shirt a week ago. But at least I got me some company on my way down.
Realizing that the only body he could find, the one body he could possess, was some insane murderer who was about to die. So now he is headed to hell. Again? But this voice, this person wasn't Japanese. Where was he? He thought. And what hell am I going to now?
Kenji is pulled, fast, into the Judeo-Christian hell. He immediately realizes that he is in a different version of the Japanese Yomi, another hell. But soon after he is there, he sees the same path to escape that he saw in the Yomi. He runs towards it. Not only is there no resistance to him leaving, but there is a demonic creature pointing to the path out.
I can't believe this. Am I being led out of this darkness? And if so, does that mean that I was led out of the Yomi also?
Then, just as he reaches the opening to the natural world, he hears a voice.
Don't ask no questions, old son. Just run. Run like the devil's on your tail. 'Cause he probably is.
Kenji realized that the serial killer is still part of his soul. Or perhaps he had become a part of the killer's soul. Either way, he or they escape hell and return to the natural world. Across town at Mark Antony's office. Mark Antony is sitting at his desk. He is trying to wrap his mind around what has happened to him over the last 24 hours, thinking to himself,
I'm not sure what's real right now. Did that old man really just throw me across an alley? Then the alley just disappeared. And the woman, Miss H, she just appeared out of nowhere, gave me a magic ring, and it knocked that dude out. Then she took acid out of his chest. I think I'm going to need a minute to think about what happened last night and what's real and what's not.
Then Miss H enters his office. She walks across the room to the chair on the opposite side of his desk. She sits down and smiles slightly.
I would guess that you have questions, Marcus.
Mark stares at Miss H. For a moment, then he speaks.
I'm not sure what happened last night. Did that old man really throw me around the alley?
Interrupting.
You're a big guy, sure. And you look to be in great shape, Marcus. But you just got your ass kicked. It happens.
Adjusting in her chair.
Okay, well, how did that magic ring get him off of me?
Miss H looks down and shakes her head a little.
Magic, Marcus? Are you talking about the tungsten metal ring with the tungsten and titanium head? That a large man struck a smaller, older man with? Yes, Marcus, that ring was as magical as brass knuckles. Except maybe 6 times harder.
Mark pauses for a moment, exhaling a near silent laugh, thinking that maybe he was just filled with adrenaline and he might have been a little confused. This was his first day after all.
But the alley, it disappeared. I turned my head, I looked back, and it was gone.
Really, Marcus? Because it's there right now? I passed it this morning on my way here.
Mark stands up, then walks to the window.
Okay, maybe I was a little off after getting nearly choked out.
He turns to look at Miss H, holding his hands up, as if to ask a question.
Was that a normal recovery? Should I be ready for a fight every recovery? If so, maybe I need a gun or pepper spray or something.
Well, before you go all Rambo on me and start talking about guns and stuff, your next recovery is here. And this one should be a little different. Easy almost. There is a young guy that got away with one of our items and he's here in the city. We need you to come with us. But it's not so much a chase as it is a negotiation.
Mark walks back to his seat. Tilting his head in confusion, he asks,
Negotiation? So you need me to talk someone in or something? Is that a thing I do for the company also?
No, Marcus. You will not be part of the conversation. But if everything goes as planned, then we will need you to take possession of the asset. In fact, we need to be on our way now. A few of our agents are there already, and they are speaking with some agents from an opposing organization.
Are we talking about a thief organization? Who'd be trying to protect a thief? And if we know where that dude is and where our item is, why don't we just call the police?
standing by the door, then turning around to look at Mark.
We really should be on our way, Marcus. I'll explain more to you while we're in the car.
They get in the car and head across town. Mark feels like he is asking too many questions, but he really doesn't understand everything that is happening.
So you were telling me about this asset?
Without looking at Mark, Miss H starts to speak.
This one is a little different, Marcus. The guy Kenji Nakamura has property that belongs to our company. But he's part of a Japanese organization. Have you ever heard of the Yakuza?
Mark nods his head.
Well, they are similar to the group. Close, but different. I guess you could use them as a reference. Basically, they're Japanese, mean, difficult to deal with, and they have claims on him, and this is what's important to us. Anything he has in his possession. So, we can't involve the police, local or federal. There are jurisdictions and protocols that we can circumvent. Sometimes. And there are some that we can't. The power of our parent company allows for a great deal of latitude from most authority. Political power, financial power, religious.
That last word catches Mark's attention.
Did you say religious?
We're here, Marcus.
Marcus gets out of the car. They are at an outside restaurant. There are several people in business suits gathered around a table. Some appear to be Japanese, others are not. He walks behind his assistant. Again, he clearly doesn't know everything that is happening, so he's smart enough to stay in the background until he does. They walk over to the tables. There are men in expensive suits. The man who Mark believes to be in charge of the opposing group is sitting at a table flanked by 3 other people.
That suits our money,
he says under his breath. Hearing Mark, Miss H, putting her hand up to her mouth as to hide the fact that she is speaking.
Don't admire Marcus. This is supposed to be a business negotiation. Admiration makes us look weak.
The man doing the negotiations for the company speaks.
I want you to understand how important this is to the company. This man has property that belongs to us. We would like to claim this item, and then of course the man is yours. To show you just how serious this is to the company, I will address you now. Only in Japanese. Sorry. Only in Nihongo.
The negotiator switches from English to Japanese, but Mark still hears him in English.
What will it take for us to be able to claim our item? 私たちが権利を主張できるようになるには何が必要でしょうか? The man is of no real importance to us. その男は私たちにとってそれほど重要な人物ではない. But we cannot allow him to leave with the asset. 凶器は我々にとってそれほど重要ではないが彼が資産を持って去ることを許すことはできない.
Mark leans over to Miss H, whispering.
I thought that dude was going to speak in another language. I still hear English. What's up with that?
Miss H puts her pointer finger up to her mouth, signaling to Mark once again that he needs to be silent and allow the negotiators to do their work. Mark, knowing that his actions are getting under her skin and finding it slightly amusing, he looks in her direction and smiles. Then when he looks back at the negotiators, he sees something strange. The group of people start to change in appearance. As Mark is looking at the negotiators, they seem to blur, as if he cannot truly see them. Mark shakes his head, hoping to see clearly after he takes a second look. But now he sees them as more than human. What he sees scares him to his very core, and he feels a chill run down his spine. The Japanese men and the company's negotiator all turn to look at Mark. The air seems to change. There is a silence now. The meeting feels more uncomfortable. After staring at Mark for several seconds, the negotiator looks at Miss H.
Maybe you should take him for a walk. I'll be okay till you get back. But Mark, he looks like he could use a drink of water.
Miss H taps Mark on the arm.
Let's take a little walk, Marcus. You look like you're going to faint.
Yeah, okay. It's just that,
Mark pauses for a moment.
you know what? It's me. I'm tripping. I've been seeing stuff for a couple of days now, and I think maybe I got low blood pressure or something. I just need a drink.
Miss H walks him into the restaurant.
Have a seat, Marcus. You look a little wobbly.
After he sits down, Miss H orders a couple of drinks.
Here, Marcus. I ordered a couple of waters.
Sitting next to Mark and waiting until he has a drink.
So, what's wrong, Marcus? I was wondering if I was going to have to try to carry you in here.
Pausing for a second, then looking at her, wondering how he can explain what he saw.
Okay, so I think I saw something. Well, I know I saw something, but I feel crazy saying it. I mean, okay, let me start over. Since I was young, really young, I used to see things.
Pausing, Mark takes a sip of his water, trying to get a hold on what he wants to say and how best to say it. He puts his glass down and decides to just say exactly what's on his mind.
I see monsters. I always have. I know what that sounds like, but it's true. Look, we just met, and I don't want to sound crazy.
Under his breath.
Shoot, it's probably too late. But I have seen some crazy things. Even when I was in the Marines, I would sometimes see people change, I guess you would call it. The enemy and sometimes our own people. No one ever saw it except me. I learned when I was really young that I needed to keep this kind of thing to myself because no one believed me. I kind of figured it was just a thing in my head, you know. But recently I've started seeing stuff again. It kind of started with you the other day.
Choking slightly on her water, then looking Mark directly in his eyes. She speaks.
Me? Did you say it started with me?
Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, yesterday I wanted to talk to you, so I mistakenly, I admit, grabbed your arm, and it looked like you changed. Voice and body. I was sure of it. Then I convinced myself that it was just in my head. And that dude in the alley, I could swear he changed also. He was bigger. Then today, these guys negotiating with our rep, they changed too. Like monsters. Aliens, maybe. No, I think I would call them demons.
Holding her drink and staring at Mark for what seems like hours, squinting her eyes as if she is thinking, she places her hand over her mouth, then bursts into laughter.
Did you say monster? No, wait. You said demons.
Continuing to laugh.
Demons, Marcus? Like from the Bible? Like the little girl from The Exorcist?
Her laughter increases to the point that a server walks over and asks if they can quiet down a little.
Sorry. But my companion said something bug shit crazy.
She continues to laugh, but trying to respect the restaurant, she is much calmer.
Monsters, Marcus? Is that what's wrong with you? I swear this is the kind of thing that I should report to the company, but I just need to see where this goes. Morbid curiosity and all that.
Holding his head down and feeling a little ashamed.
I knew I shouldn't have told you.
No, Marcus. We need to be honest with one another. Now finish your drink so we can get back to the meeting.
Under her breath.
Freaking monsters.
The two head back outside to the meeting. Mark is trying to compose himself, knowing that all eyes were just on him. Adjusting his suit and trying to produce a smile, he stands behind the company's negotiator. Miss H stands behind him. To his right. The negotiator looks up, noticing that the two have come back. The Japanese negotiator slams his hand on the table and says something in Japanese.
泥棒、バカ、小さい悪魔。
Mark isn't sure what he said, but he feels he should probably be offended by it. Then he hears a voice behind him.
You are having an unsanctioned meeting, and it is about the distribution of properties that fall under my jurisdiction.
The Japanese negotiator yells again, but this time in English.
I knew this was a setup. You think you can steal from the Yomi?
The newcomer gives a slight smile to those at the table and sits down. Another person walks up. She is in a suit also. It is very similar to the first man, almost like a uniform. Then a third person, another woman, walks up. Everyone at the meeting seems far more tense now. Mark can tell that everyone is startled by the sudden appearance of this trio. Their fear unsettles Mark.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Remiel, and I'm now in charge of this particular situation, and the final call will be made by me. My associates are Celeste. She's in charge of laws, rules, and regulations. And this is Amanda. She is a witness from upper management.
You don't belong here.
His words are filled with anger.
We will handle...
Interrupting him, Remiel holds up his right hand, and as he begins to speak, he closes his open hand into a fist.
Amanda, if you would be so kind.
Amanda turns her gaze towards the Japanese negotiator. Mark looks at her, then turns his head towards the Japanese man. He sees the man explode and the other Japanese men dive away from the table. He can also see what appears to be an outline of a car crash into the man, killing him. He realizes that he is both seeing what other people see and what is really happening. The Japanese men run. The company's people drop to one knee. Miss H included. Mark looks around, trying to wrap his mind around what he is seeing. Remiel turns his attention to Mark.
Well, what have we got here, and who might you be, child?
Miss H turns her head slightly towards Mark. Mark can feel his heart pounding. It feels like it might very well burst from his chest. He takes a step back.
This is crazy.
Mark turns around and starts running down the street. Miss H sees this and cannot help but to stand up and scream.
Mark! Mark! Motherfuck!
The end of episode 3. He belongs to Clan Honda.